Hey guys! All right, so time is freaking flying and we are already at week 14. So I'll cover some exciting exercise stuff and how that's been going this week, and then food, but we'll go ahead and start with stats. So I ended up losing 1 pound this week and considering it was leading up to that time of month. I think it was probably like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish when I, had a period. I have an IUD, so I don't really have like a period, but I still have all the symptoms. So considering it was leading up to that, I definitely felt bloated and still feel bloated now, and a little bit sluggish, and I have been wanting to eat everything. So losing 1 pound and being at 187, I will take that. I was kind of bummed because earlier in the week, there was a day where I was at 185, and then like 2 days later, I was at 186, and then on Tuesday, I was 187 again. So that was kind of a bummer, but I'm probably retaining some more water because of that time of month. So hopefully I'll see that kind of, shed off this next week as we get out of it. So since surgery day, I lost 38 pounds and then overall 54 pounds. So a little over halfway to my goal of losing 100 pounds. So I'm super excited. So I think I talked about this in my last video, but I got cleared to run. So I was supposed to kind of start off slowly, walk and then add 10% per week, something like that. And I didn't do that. I basically was just like, if my foot is going to flare up, if that nerve is going to flare up, it's going to flare up whether I ease into it or not. It's just going to happen. So I went ahead and I did walk, a couple days, and then I ran sprints, but slower and for less time than I normally would have. And the first time I did that, I was fine. The next day, my foot felt fine. And so 2 days after that, I went into the full 20 minutes of sprints. And I do 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. So about like a 2-3 minute warm up if you guys are interested. So I have found that if I do, less days at a higher intensity and do like interval training, my body actually likes that better, because what happens when you do steady state cardio is, your body adapts. And so you have to keep doing more and more and more. And, leading up to my show, I was doing 2 hours of cardio per day, 2 hours. And then, after my show, I had to keep that up. And then even through the pregnancy, like obviously I did not keep that up. And I think that definitely contributed to gaining weight. So I don't ever want to get there again where I'm having to do 2 hours of cardio every day, because your girl ain't got time for that. Not anymore. Not that I have a baby now. Work is stressful, life is stressful, and I just don't have time to go, and I don't want to do 2 hours of cardio every day. I do enjoy running, but not for that amount of time. So, 3, maybe 4 times a week, a mixture between, steady state and high intensity. So, if I'm doing that 4th or 5th day, it's generally going to be something, to do with my son, rolling him around in the stroller around the neighborhood and the hills, and running around the playground with him. That's going to be those, like, what I would consider steady state rather than high intensity. And I did an outside run. It was so exciting. I haven't run outside since last year, actually. So that was exciting. That felt really great. I was way slower than, I was doing sprints on a treadmill, but, I live in a pretty hilly area, and those hills are no joke. So that was super exciting. Food this week has been, it was good. I had a little bit of noodles one night. We had pot stickers. I think that was this last week, right? Yeah, that was this last week. So my in-laws, no, that was the week before. I think I already talked about that. I don't remember. I can't remember now. Whichever week it was, if I haven't already talked about it, if I'm repeating myself, I'm so sorry. But they made pot stickers, and they make the most delicious pot stickers. And back in the day, like, I could eat like 10, you know, they're not that big. They're, you know, maybe this big. 10, maybe 12. And this last time I weighed out, 4 ounces, and there were 5 that made up 4 ounces. I could only barely eat 3, and that was pushing it. So definitely, still getting used to the, carby type foods. Those kind of expand in your stomach faster. I mean, I can eat more meat than those, like in terms of, quantity, but it's interesting because things like chips and crackers and stuff, I could eat more of those than like rice or, like the, I don't even know like what pot stickers are made out of. They make the dough themselves. And so anyways, it's just funny how like certain carbs sit differently in my body. So that's one thing, I really thought that, like, oh my gosh, am I never going to be able to eat rice again? Am I never going to be able to eat these things again? Because, especially in my household, like, it's a pretty, big staple food. And so that was nice to know that, like, I can have those things just in moderation. When we had rice with our meal the other night, I weighed out, it was about 0.7 ounces of rice, and then the rest I did the veggies and the meat. So by any means, I'm not eating, probably not even a quarter cup, probably even like half of a quarter cup of, rice if I do eat it, but it just kind of satisfies that craving. And that's one thing I know I've, said before, but I really didn't want to say like, I'm cutting out this forever, because that never works. Unless you're actually like allergic to something, at some point you will eat that type of food again. And so I'm really trying to just learn how to not binge, because I can't physically binge, but learn how to, cope with my emotions in a different way. And if I have a craving, satisfy the craving. If I can satisfy it in a healthier manner, great. If not, have a tiny bit. And so, yeah, that's just one thing that I'm really trying to sort of create for myself this time around is, balance. And I've never had that in my life. I've always had, the binging. And it's funny because it's almost like my mom, created that. I know she didn't mean to, but we would eat really healthy all week long. And then every Sunday after church, we would have junk food Sundays where we would like go to Taco Bell or, go out to eat. And then we would go get a bunch of snacks, and then we'd, have a game night and like movie night as a family, but while eating, popcorn and cereal and chips and candy. And, she would kind of binge too on those nights, but, Monday through Friday, it was restricted, like completely restricted. So I think having a different type of relationship with food is definitely what I'm focusing on this time around, and having a healthy relationship with food to where like it can be in front of me and I can have, one bite and be satisfied. And so far that has worked. So hopefully that continues. And yeah, other than that, the health stuff seems to all be kind of calming down. So I know my stress levels are going down. I felt really strong during all my lifts this week. Things are definitely like growing in terms of muscles. I'm going up in weights, and that could also be contributing to, retaining some water. I got some compliments this week. That was really exciting. Actually, I I walked into the gym and I had my hair curled one day, and the guy at the front desk, he's like, wow, I really love your hair. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, weird. It's an odd thing to compliment someone on, but I was like, hey, I kind of, got noticed. And then, people at work are like, wow, I'm really seeing a difference. I'm really seeing it. Like, you're definitely slimming down. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, because sometimes it's one of those things where we see each other in the mirror, ourselves in the mirror every single day. My significant other sees me every single day, and sometimes we don't see the little changes. So that's been kind of nice that, people are noticing, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling more confident. Like, I wore my shirt tucked in today, and I haven't done that in a really long time. And if I can figure it out, I'll insert a picture here. Of my outfit today, but I felt really good. It felt good to be confident, when I walked out onto the sales floor and there's customers and there's employees and everyone's standing around. Like, there isn't a part of me right now where I'm like, oh, let me hide this. I'm feeling good. Obviously, in clothes, I feel better. Without clothes, I'm like, I can still, use some work here, there, everywhere, especially post-baby. But I feel like that's kind of a human nature thing. Even at my smallest, I still wanted to change things about my body. So I don't know if I'll ever be truly happy with every single inch of my body, but it feels really good to be feeling more confident, and for other people to be noticing the weight loss. So yeah, other than that, this week was pretty mellow. I have really worked hard on organizing our home gym and trying to kind of get things set up. I got a few new things in this week, new accessories. So stay tuned for a video of my home gym workouts. I'll be posting some of that coming up soon. And then I still want to do that sort of like how to make clothes look better when they're starting to get baggy. As you can see, I grabbed my sewing machine out last night because I was trying to take in some jeans because I really don't want to buy new jeans right now. And for most of my life, my mom always had to take them in, in my lower back area because I just go in quickly in the waist, but I still need the larger size for my thighs and my back side. And so I tried to do that, and I think they're too big. Like, I'm taking them in so much that there's really no way to hide it. I tried it, different angles, the dart's a little smaller, and it just didn't work. So I think I'm just gonna have to go down to just only wearing one pair. And maybe I'll see if I can get like a coupon at Old Navy or something and get a pair for like $20 because I don't mind spending that. I just, that pair that I was trying to take in, I mean, those were rag and bone, and I think they were still like $100 and something even on sale at Nordstrom. So, I really wanted to try and salvage them, but, yeah, it's not going to happen. So, I will buy a new pair, but, a lot of my shirts and stuff, like, I can do little tips, I have tips and tricks that I can, do to make them look a little better in the meantime. So I also have that, that I'm planning on doing. I actually have 2 days off in a row. I have Saturday and Sunday, so that's exciting. So maybe I'll get some of those done during nap time in the next couple of days. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.